this video, let's have a look at this Asus laptop. It is Asus vivobook i5 8th generation laptop. Customer said he owned this laptop about 2 years, almost 2 years time. It is working fine, but one day he tried to power on. The laptop is not power on at all, even plug in the power adapter or using battery. So the customer thinking is something wrong with the power button. So the customer opened it by himself and checked and attempt to try to repair the power button by himself. After customer opened the back cover and have a look, the customer can't find it. Where's the power button? So he bring the laptop to another laptop shop, another laptop repair shop. In that shop, the technician in that shop tell the customer he need a new motherboard. Customer don't believe that. He's still thinking it's just a power button issue. So he take the laptop back and bring to us. Want us have a look. While receiving this laptop, the back panel is already missing. I think it's still with the customer. I directly to disassembling the laptop. I'm not going to power on the laptop in front of the customer. I'm not sure if the customer doing anything else wrong before or previous technician do something else on this motherboard. Directly power on the laptop or plug in the power adapter. Sometimes might get the problem getting worse. After battery remove, now we can testing each of the power circuit, see is there any of the short circuit. It's quite lucky that there's no short circuit found, so we need to take the motherboard out to have another look on the other side. Every week we receive quite a lot of repair about the laptop not be able to power on. Most of the customer is quite reasonable and is understanding. Those laptop need to leave the laptop in our shop for diagnostic to find out why the laptop is not be able to power on. It takes time, but still some of the customer they need the laptop quite urgently, or maybe some reason they don't want to leave the laptop and they just bring the laptop and put it in front of me and press the power button, say look, the laptop is not power on at all, and ask me tell them why without look at inside the laptop. How do I know what's going wrong? And we do see some of the customer quite insist it's just the power button issue. They don't want me to disassembling the laptop and testing the power button straight away. It's almost impossible. Normally for those customers, we spend a lot of time, normally about 10-20 minutes, explain what's the structure for the latest those computer. And also it's not easy to go wrong with the power button. The repair is very different with the retail. Most of those problems caused by the logic board, but changing another new logic board, you can see from the eBay, the price is amazing. And an i3 processor is costing more than £140, and that's just Pentium dual core. i7 that's more higher price. The i5 7 or 8 generation is quite equaling the same board, equaling same level, but you can see the price is almost £200. And for some particular motherboard, you might not be able to find out in European. Probably you need to ship it out from probably Hong Kong or America. It takes roughly about 3 or 4 weeks to arriving. Also, another issue will be the warranty. You can see this one, this is quite close, i5 8th generation. This one you can see just about 90 days warranty. And if anything go wrong, you need to spend your own money to ship it back to get a refund. Over £200 for a new motherboard, and plus the labor to fix the new motherboard inside. And at the end, it's less than 3 months warranty. For me, it's unacceptable. Repairing the existing faulty motherboard, the cost will be reduced more than half compared to replace a new motherboard. Most of it is just the labor cost actually. Actually the repair job, it just take about 10 or 20 minutes. But the diagnostic, the testing to find out where is the faulty area, that take a very long time. It take few hours, sometimes take few days to find out where is the faulty area and doing the replace in that area. Just like the motherboard I testing now, each of the power circuit, they are working fine. No short circuit, the output, the outcome, the voltage, they are all correct. But somehow the machine just not responding, and the motherboard is clean, and you can't see any watermark, any drop, or any burning mark. There's no visible damage you can see on the motherboard. In the next step, then we need to do the signal test. All of those chipsets, including the processor, memory, bridge, they communicate each other by sending the signal. Any of the resistor or power cap getting faulty might cause those signal missing or the signal frequency change. And finally, the chipset stop functioning by waiting for the signal, something like that. But before we do that, we have to testing the on and off button first to make sure there's nothing wrong with on and off button. We connecting the keyboard. The on and off button is built on the keyboard straight away. We can't disassemble it, just on and off button. Now we measurement the on and off signal. Now we improve the power and do the measurement on the keyboard cable. You can see it's 3.1 volt is correct. And we pressing the button, the voltage dropped to 0. The on and off button is clearly working. We have no another way to do. Next step, go for the signal test. Testing the resistor and the power cap on those motherboard is nightmare. There's thousands of the capacitor and thousands of the cap they soldering on the motherboard. Testing each one of them is taking very long time. We are not just only measuring each of the resistor to make sure the value must be meet what it's supposed to be. Also, we need to calculate the signal input. After signal pass those resistor, is the correct one. And those measurement and the calculation takes very long time. And sometimes when a new customer coming into the shop, we need to stop there and serving the customer. After 10 or 20 minutes, the customer go away. Coming back, probably I forgot where I tested. I need to remeasurement and recalculation again. It taking probably even more time. This video just about less than 20 minutes, but actually the measurement and calculation, and finally I found out the faulty area. It takes me about 2 or 3 hours. Those signal tests, I'm not just randomly or testing those components. All of those laptop computers, they all have the power on management timeline. It's the standard one created by the Intel or the AMD. Each of those components must be follow the timeline. When the power adapter plug in, standby chipset must be working in the first, getting 3 and 5 volt, and then the bridge chipset, bridge power provider needs working in the next, providing 1 volt power for the bridge, and then the battery charger need to send in a signal. And if waiting after those signals communicate each other, the power on and off button will be enabled, waiting for the on and off button pressing. This will be the Intel 300 serial, the 8th generation, the power management line. We need to testing from the first one and the next each one of them until the signal, the one it go wrong. In this motherboard, finally I found out the faulty area is one of the signal lines from the BIOS to the bridge. And it's supposed to be sending 3 volt of the voltage signal, the binary signal, to the bridge. But the resistor is completely failed. The signal is not passing at all. When you're looking at the motherboard, you can't see anything different. But when you're using the micro telescope to watching it, then you can find out the mark on the resistor probably is already burnt out. It's become quite white color. Now we just replace it. Probably the machine it will be working. Sometimes it's quite difficult to believe. This laptop, it was about 600 or 700 pounds. It's quite expensive laptop. It stopped working just by a quite small, tiny little resistor. Those resistors, the cost is almost nothing. Normally, from the eBay or retail, those resistors just cost few pence each. But find out this broken resistor, it takes about 3 hours. And replace this resistor, and as you can see, just about few minutes job, just replace it. It's not difficult at all. After the resoldering, we put everything back to the computer and have few more tests to make sure it's reliable, and then finish the repair. This video I'm making, main reason is for some of the customer who want to know daily how we repair the motherboard. This video might give them some of the idea. Behind the video, actually we're doing a lot more. For example, like this laptop, the asus laptop, after motherboard repairing, we found out the screen lid is dent. We need to repair the dent area as well. Also the hinge area, the hinge holder is start cracking. We need to repair, reseal each of the hinge holder. And one of the hard drive holding screw, both of the hard drive holding screw is loose. We need to rebuild those as well. It's the final job, it takes a lot more time.